Welcome! This is the official first actual chapter of the book and the course Kabbalah Love. Now, the very first thing that I'm going to teach you is called the attitude of gratitude. Or shall we call it, don't have attitude, have gratitude. This is super critical. Let me begin with an example from Rabbeinu Bechaya. This man, I tell you, from everything that I have ever read, he towers above. He makes the whole universe look like we're all bumbling idiots. His book is called Duties of the Heart. Do yourself a favor. If you have a bit of a philosophical bent, go get his book. It's mind-blowing. In any event, he gives an example. Imagine there are two people that get stranded on an island. A child and an adult. Now, a very, very sensitive, kind man comes and he says, I see you're stranded. Come into my house. And he takes care of them. And he gives them food and he gives them drink. And this is some island. There's no way off the island. But this man just takes them like they're his own children. Now, what's going to happen? The older person will be like, who the hell is this guy? This guy's amazing. He's the nicest person in the world. But what's going to happen to the child? The child is going to call him Dad. Oh, Dad. By the way, Dad, can you get me a boat? Dad, can you get me like an iPad? Why? Because the older person has intelligence. He knows that it's been bestowed upon him. The child doesn't have intelligence. So he thinks, oh, that's reality. Let me tell you a story. Mr. Bear came into my synagogue one day and he was shaking his head. He was a little sad. And I said to him, what's wrong? So I lived in a resort town and he was staying at basically a congregate of mine. They had some marital issues. And he said, I don't know why young people, they don't get along today. I was married for over 40 years and I never had an argument with my wife. Now, I'm a rabbi, but I'm far from a saint. So I said to Mr. Bear, what was the secret? And he actually said something truly, truly amazing. He said, when I was a young man, he lived in Cape Town, I asked my boss to lend me, I think it was a sterling silver or whatever coin. He wanted to buy a lotto ticket. So my boss said, you know when you'll win the lotto? When you'll walk down the aisle to your marriage canopy. So he left and I thought about it, but he didn't really answer my question how he had a great marriage. Then I realized, no, he really did answer, because what he was telling me was he didn't take it for granted. He thought that he was the luckiest person in the world. That's why he had a good marriage. So you see, in life, it's not what we have that makes us happy. My cousin took a group from the wealthiest kids in the world. I write about it in the book. Maybe I shouldn't say where he's from. But anyway, he took them on a tour of the United States. And they came to, I think it was a store in maybe Florida. It was like the largest toy store in the world. And the daughter of a billionaire banker was sitting in an aisle, all alone. I don't want to say her name. And he goes over to her. He goes like, what's wrong? I mean, her dad's literally a billionaire. She says, I have all these toys already. So you see, it has nothing to do with what you have. This is so super critical. Oprah, who's so super rich, she said, stuff doesn't make you happy. We think that if I had that, oh, that guy is so lucky, he has a plane. Statistics show stuff does not make people happy. It's just that simple. What makes people happy is a meaningful life, which we're going to get to soon. Now, I want to conclude with one more story. I have my grandfather was friendly with, happens to be another billionaire banker. And he was here in Kansas City at that time. And he was like a little excited. He says, I have a friend who just sold his company for $3 billion cash. Imagine you built a company, you sold it for $3 billion, not stocks, not shares, cash in your bank, $3 billion. Then he got very, very somber It says he would give it all away just to get better. He had Parkinson's. So my friends, listen to what I'm telling you. Life is not about what you have. I'm going to tell you some more stories on this soon, but this is the point now. It's about the attitude towards what you have.